What's up again, y'all? It's Jamie, and this is Divinely Expressed. So today I am coming to share a dream that I had on, was actually the 22nd. But it was a dream that was like really long. It took a long time for me to like record this dream. When I woke up, it took me 27 minutes to actually get just the voice recording of this dream. So it's taken me a long time to like get through that voice recording and kind of figure it out. When I first had it, I labeled it that it was about camps because I didn't really understand it at first. And then I had this voice recording stored, and I felt called once again to read the book of Revelation over again. And as I was reading through it, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I had a revelation, right? And I'm like, huh. So then I felt the need to listen to this dream again. I listened to the dream again, and I figured out where this dream lines up like exactly with the book of Revelation. So, although I'm not going to give you the specific scripture, I will give you like the structure of where it lines up within the book of Revelation, so that you can like follow along for yourself or do what you want to do to, you know, see that this all makes sense, right? Because it took me a long time to write this whole dream down and to get it all deciphered correctly so that I could do this video now. And there have been a lot of distractions, which only proves to me that this is all that much more important for me. It's been important for me to get this out there. So I'm just going to start where I remember the dream starting, which was at Revelation 6:12, which is, I think the Lamb breaking off the sixth seal or whatever. So it starts where I'm with an angel who cut the hair off goats and the sky got black. We were in a cave, and I knew things were going to start getting bad, and I didn't want to leave. Some of my family members thought they should go somewhere, and I was like, no, it's not a good idea. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying back here. I don't think it's, something's not right. Like I can feel it in my gut. Something's not right. So I said I was going to stay there. Then they got back, and they said it was so awful out there. They shouldn't have gone. They should have just listened to me, and that it was like a horrible disaster out there, and they should have listened to me. Then that part ended with me like seeing them looking out like the door of a cave, right? So then going to Revelation 7, it went back to where everyone, when they were gone, I was left back in a room by myself. I was trying to do laundry, but there was no laundry soap left anywhere. I kept like looking for laundry soap, and I couldn't find any. There were a bunch of empty containers, but nothing in them. And I kept looking and looking, and then finally I found one really plain container hanging up like in the rafters or something, like up in the ceiling. And it was just like one plain container. And I found some soap in that one, and I washed the clothes. So then it flashed to just rows and rows of white top tents, like not sides on the tents, but they were just like white peak tents. It was just all light. There was no dark. There was like one white like row, like not red carpet, but like a white carpet, you know, with just these rows of white top tents there. It was all grassy in the tents, and I was just like, a lot of people were alone and kind of scared, but I was just like wandering through there, trying to uplift their spirits, and everyone was just talking about how wonderful Jesus is, and oh yeah, everybody was wearing white robes in the white tents, yes. And people had like plants A lot of people were like carrying plants. And then there were like potted plants, like growing vegetables and stuff. All there really was these white top tents, sunny sky, grass, the white carpet, and people with plants, people eating like planted food, vegetables, basically. And they, you know, nobody lacked anything, but they only had like enough. There was no excess anything. It was just like the people, the plants, the grass, the white carpet, and the white tents, and like a bright sky. And then I heard, touch not my anointed. So then we go to what correlates with Revelation 8. And it was almost like I was on a train. I was going like really fast. I left all the church people that I had been with, and I was by myself. And then I just kind of started seeing like bad things start happening. And I went further on this ride by myself, and people just started getting sad and depressed all around me. I'm not supposed to speak on the part of my dream that correlates with Revelation 8:6 through 8:10. And that all correlates with the book of Revelation as well. So that part is left out. And then so we go to Revelation 11. And it was like I was in a church or Bible study, and I was there with a guy who didn't like speak any English. There was like a language barrier. We couldn't talk to each other. And then I was told I had to go again. And the next thing was that I was watching, this guy was like sad and alone, and everybody was like mad at him. Everybody was mad at him. Like everybody was like being really mean and like yelling at him and criticizing him. And he didn't have pants. He just had like a long shirt. He had no money or anything. And I wanted to help him, but I couldn't because there was like a language barrier and we didn't speak the same language. So it was like I was watching this guy like getting tortured and like people being awful and mean to him, but I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't even talk to him. I just had to like watch at this point. Everybody was yelling and he was like crying. He was like really upset and angry and hurt, and he kept talking in his language, crying, and he was just like trying to get people to listen, but like everybody was just ignoring him and just like being nasty to him. And then there was like a lady trying to tell him to be quiet and calm down, and who could speak his language. And then all of a sudden it flashed to him like laying in the street, laying on the pavement, by himself. He was like dead and naked, and he was just all alone. And then I went and I like helped him up. He stood up, and I took him to get some clothes as everybody like watched like what is going on. And then then the dream switched again, which goes to Revelation 11:15. I was back in a huge white store with big silver like horns with like flags hanging on them. And I was trying to help people, feed and guide them where they were trying to go. People I had known like in the past were coming up to me, and they're afraid to tell me about what they'd done wrong. They're afraid to like confess their sins or confess with the mistakes that they'd made to me. But they would eventually tell me what it was, and then I just say, oh, you could have just told me, it's no big deal. And they would be like really relieved, and then they would leave. Then it flashed to a part where there were also like, it was really hot. People were in tents and trailers, like little like dome tents and little round trailers. These were more like cells. I mean, if you think about the comparison, white place with silver, dark, hot, you know, heaven and hell, I guess. So this would kind of be like the judgment, or the point where, you know, people are getting judged. There were these hot little like dome tents and trailers full of people. They were dirty, messy, dark. Everybody was hot, angry, miserable. Nobody's air conditioner or refrigerator would work. And when I was first recording this dream, I was like, huh, like everybody had a broken air conditioner. Like everybody was hot and everybody had an air conditioner, but it wouldn't work. And yeah, so they were all like, everybody that was there was just angry. They were angry with God and just complaining about everything. So then I left there, I walked out, and then I had a few men approach me outside, and they were like really, really happy to see me. They like greeted me with like the happiest, like, hey, we're so happy to see you, so glad you're here. Like, they thanked me, saying I was doing great things, they were trying to help me, saying how much they missed me and they were glad to see me. And they brought me a gift. They brought me like a little box, a gift, and told me, don't worry about anything that anybody's saying about you. And I was like, okay. So then I was standing outside with somebody. It was like my stepmom, who I actually like don't really talk to, but I was standing outside with her. We were like making amends and looking up at the sky, and there were like planes and stuff flying overhead. And we were standing there agreeing on how we really missed how we used to get really good burgers at this restaurant here. And then suddenly I was whisked away again. So the next part correlates with Revelation 12. I ended up in a really bright room. I was like in a white dress, laying on the floor, like on my back with my knees up, which I didn't really understand when I first recorded this what it was, but I was actually on the floor having really bad like labor pains, and I gave birth, but when I gave birth, it was actually to like an egg. And I remember like seeing it, and then it was gone. And the dream switched again. And then I was like in a car, but I was in the sky. It was like all blue, and I could see clouds. And I was in the back seat of a car riding with some other people. And there was like this huge, ugly, like vulture looking bird. It was like an ugly, scary, almost looked like a frog chicken with like sparse, long feather wings. And it was like really just creepy. And it kept trying to like attack and fly in the car. It kept like flying at the car, like swooping at the car. And I was like really scared. I was like, please don't let it in here. Please don't let it in here. Like, it's going to hurt us. It's going to kill us. And the guy in the front seat in front of me was like, don't worry. Don't worry. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe with us. Like, don't worry. And it just, you know, it kept trying to get in the car and hurt us. But no matter how many times it tried, it couldn't get in. And it just ended up like crashing to the ground, right? So then I was back in, back to the hot trailer, and there was a man who was like really mad. He was so mad. He just like kept yelling and saying like, everything is my fault. Everything is my fault. Like, everything is my fault. He just kept blaming me for everything that like went wrong. You know, there was no context to what went wrong in my dream, but like he just kept blaming me for things. Like, it was just nonstop, like over and over and over. Like it went through this huge long part of like him blaming me for everything and just accusing me of stuff. And finally, I finally at some point like got sick of it. I told him it's not all my fault, and then I left. And then I wasn't there anymore, but I could still see him like in this trailer, and he was just really mad about how I didn't get the sauce that he ordered, that he asked for, that he ordered for me, which still correlates with Revelation. So I hope you guys, understand where this is going. I realize it's kind of abstract compared to, the Bible in specific, but I hope you can really see how it makes sense. So it was a pretty profound revelation once I realized that all specifically lined up that well with it. But yeah, God's been showing me this stuff for some reason, and he just really wanted me to share this, and so yeah, here I am. But I tried to provide you guys with some type of structure so that you can look and see for yourselves what I mean. But yeah, this is like, I've been dreaming through the book of Revelation. It's pretty intense, but just everybody in the dream was like, really, there's a lot of despair, there's a lot of misery. Like in heaven it was peaceful, happy, bright. Hell was dark, hot, like it's all what it's said to be. It's all, basically what it is. Impossible for me to not have like stronger faith after having these dreams. Like these dreams have only made my faith like that much stronger, because just when I found out how tightly this ties in with the book of Revelation, I'm just like, wow, kind of mind-blowing. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. If not, hey, it is what it is. I just felt called to share it. So y'all take care. Peace be with you.